May 8th. Time is just disappearing on us. God, I just realized I need to get some oil. This chair's got some squeaks in it, and I watched a couple of my videos. It sounded like I was farting in them. This chair was kind of, I'll do it after this one. I'll get some WD-40 out and do some work. It gives me something to do on my quarantine day here. Went and was tested for the virus this morning. They were doing testing in the parking lot at Dodger Stadium. So I figured, what the hell, made an appointment, went down. I'd rather, just have some information. I don't know whether it's going to tell me anything or not. It'll be a week or two, I think, before you actually get your information. But I had no idea that the tests were now rectal. I mean, I thought I was back at the airport. But it was nice. I brought candy and flowers, so it went really well. But no, it's just an oral swab, just an oral swab. And so we'll see what happens with that. And I've got a bunch of stuff I have to take care of today after we do this. It seems it's really kind of remarkable, the amount of projects, if you really start looking for them, you can come up with stuff you would never have thought of doing. All of a sudden it's taken on importance because it's looming. I'm here every day staring at things that I wouldn't have never noticed otherwise, but I'm getting them done. At the end of the day, I feel kind of proud that and a sense of accomplishment that I've actually, completed another task. Say a lot. I just realized that. So I watch these videos just to double check, and sometimes you're just kind of fascinated when you're seeing yourself outside of yourself, and you're just going, Jesus, what's he talking about? What's he doing? But I'm here. I've got my old 62 jazz bass, my first real legitimate bass that I talk about in my gear video, that I carved this thing all up in the mid 1960s, and used to have a picture in that square on the back that you can kind of see in there of Frank Zappa, because I was a giant Mothers freak and loved the Mothers of Invention. And it was funny, many years later, there was a cable show called Happy Hour with Amit and Dweezil Zappa, and I was the musical director on the show. It was really a crazy show. It lasted one season, but it was pretty nuts. Our green room was like an open bar. It was like this kind of surreal game show, but every kind of character you could imagine were guests on this show, and then the musical guests were great. So we had a ball. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. It was just kind of interesting to experience Zappa, the second generation, where I was an audience for the first one. I was a participant in the second one. But I brought this bass out because the song I'm going to do today is a song that I did on this one. In fact, let me roll the computer back to it. Make sure we're still in our place. Yep, we are, and it should work. This is the bass I used on the early, like, Mudslide Slim, run on Doctor My Eyes. This is the bass I used on that. Everything kind of pre-73 was this instrument. And I didn't have any other instruments. I only had this one bass, and this was everything. This is what I took on there. There's some really cool old vintage videos from like early James Taylor shows, like with the BBC from like 1970, where I'm playing this bass. But I used it anytime I do anything. If I'm in the studio and I go, guys jump all over this. It's Red Baron from Billy Cobham's Spectrum. And I've had a whole bunch of requests to do this. And so I'm going to do it. But it's funny. You can have a certain, bass figure that people have come to just really connect to. And so the minute I started playing that, like in the studio, everybody wants to jam. I can really ruin a good session quickly by throwing in, that, or, just, if I just sit there and start going, date's over. Everybody goes, oh man, I want to play that. So, but I thought I'd do Red Baron and just sort of enjoy that. And once again, get this tuner off of here. Once again, it's Tommy Bolin on guitar, one of the greatest guitar players I've ever played with. Jan Hammer, who's just like a keyboard freak. Probably one of the best mini Moog players I ever worked with. His thumb work, the wheel, was just unbelievable. And Billy Cobham, I mean, what can you say? Billy Cobham and Jan and Billy were the essence of Mahavishnu Orchestra, along with John McLaughlin and Jerry Goodman and Rick Laird. So there's a beautiful lineage here. But Tommy was one of my dear friends, and I'd known him since Zephyr days back in '68 when we were doing some gigs together, along with War. It was a fabulous time. But enough of that. I'm going to go ahead and play this. The thing with these old basses is, as soon as I got that good buzz going here, so I have to crank both pickups up full blast to get rid of that buzz. And I've never changed the pickups because I just like this. It plays like butter. It is just beautiful. And like I talked about before, I carved so much body off of this that in the old strap I have, at the end of the strap at this end is a 2-pound block of lead as ballast to keep it sitting like this. Otherwise it goes like this. One of those things where you're sitting around and you think, oh, this is a good idea. And then after you've done it, you go, that was really a stupid idea. But can't help it. It's part of my makeup. So here we go, Red Baron. Oh no, it's not gonna be. Get back to this. I hate when this happens. I need an assistant. think it's stuffy. Red Baron. I know I'm going to get slammed for copyright again. It just seems like every time I do a song I dig, thing pops up and goes, oh, copyright, copyright. But the hell with it. I just want to play the songs. And that was a fun one. I mean, we did that whole record. Like I've said in the past, we did that whole record. We did it at Electric Ladyland in New York, and pretty much cut all of our tracks in 2 days. It was first and second takes of everything. And it was just kind of brutal, raw energy. And it was a remarkable time. I so cherish those years when it was like Return to Forever and Mahavishnu Orchestra and King Crimson, and just like a prog rock was happening, and Herbie Hancock and Chick Corea, all these amazing groups. Stanley Clarke, my God, Stanley Clarke, give me a break. And Weather Report, Jocko, the whole litany of incredible writers and musicians that came out of that period. And we had such a good time with our band, The Section, in the middle of all that too, because we were more of a rock fusion group than a jazz fusion group. So it was really fun. And we were the opening act for Mahavishnu Orchestra on a tour. And so we really got to dig in deep, and that was around 72. So that one's behind. I still have Tari and Matador to dig into, and I'll get to that maybe at some point next week. I got some other things I want to do before then, but I'm going to go out and take care of business now. I just wanted to send something off, some ear candy for you. I had somebody write in that goes, God, did you listen really close? He's out of tune. I'll tell you, after 50 years in the studio, I take my pride in one thing. I know how to tune my bass. The problem is some of the things I'm playing to aren't exactly the exact right bit rate or whatever, so the way they've been recorded. So they may be tweaked off because I'm playing off of my computer and stuff that I'm playing off of other YouTube channels and stuff. So some things may sound a little out of tune, but it's not this. It's how I'm receiving the material and how it's being sent out. But other than that, man, I'm digging everything. I'm just having the best time here. So I hope you're all well. Like I did yesterday, gave my shout out to teachers, because I think it's National Teachers Week or month. But they just had a thing on television. They were talking about what teachers are going through, and I was watching that. And they are a driven, remarkable breed. There's a lot of similarities between teachers and players, musicians, because you do this because you have to. You don't go into music sitting there looking at BMW catalogs going, this is what I want. I'm still driving a 97 Chevy pickup truck. I mean, I do music because I have to do music. It's my DNA. And most all the players I know are the same way. If some success comes with it, man, it's gravy. It's frosting on the cake. But that really is not what drives you to do this. And the same, like when I think of my niece and her husband, who are both teachers, and other friends of mine that are doctors and nurses, especially the nurses. This is something that you have to do. It's your calling. And so with the teachers and all these people that are out there taking care of the world, thank you so much again from the bottom of my heart. You are the angels in this grotesque, bizarre scene that's going on that we can't seem to get a straight answer to anything to. So you have to just trust your gut instinct and do what feels right. I'm looking out my window now, and there's a whole bunch of hummingbirds flying by, and it makes you feel like there really is a beautiful world out there. And just before this, I posted a little video I shot yesterday afternoon. I actually hunkered down and bought myself a hammock. I had a hammock many, many years ago, and it just hung until it rotted, and I hardly ever used it. But this one, I'm trying to get out every day and spend like a half hour or something, and it just kind of chill out a bit. And the dogs always come over and lay down under it. Sometimes they decide to jump up on the side, and they flipped me out of it a couple of times when I was relaxing. So, but I caught a little little video of them yesterday, these little scamps underneath the hammock. So take good care. Think about the people that are taking care of your lives every day. Think about your families and your friends, and think about yourself. Do what feels right and be safe. Don't put yourself in harm's way just because you think it's going to be okay. Two of my neighbors just died from this virus. I'm not taking this lightly at all. I've seen a lot of people die, and a lot of people are sick. So this is nothing to be toyed with. It ain't the flu, no matter what people might be saying about it. This is, as I say, deadly serious. So take good care, and I will see you tomorrow with further adventures here in the peanut gallery. So take care. Bye-bye.